Your air temp is 78 degrees, so that hasn't really changed.
There you go. So, these looks, by the way, that's the weather Todd was talking about. 78 degree, 109, very little wind speed. Todd, we was watching these guys in practice. They were struggling a little bit out of turn 2. It looks like most of them guys have got that kind of corrected here, but what are you seeing now?
Basically, what I'm seeing is all these guys running the middle groove instead of the top. I wonder if that track temp earlier was the big factor with these guys having trouble out of turn 2, but with the track temp going down, I'm starting to wonder if this race is going to actually go into the nighttime as it progresses. I'm not sure of how they're going to set that up, but
yeah, I was curious about that. One other thing, Todd, that I want to mention real quick that coming here, it's always a big factor, especially with leagues that usually don't have a lot of yellows. This is one of them leagues that literally don't have many yellows. One of the things I want to mention is pit road. Pit road is very difficult to get on here under green flag conditions, especially with hot track temp. Track tires are going to slide. We could see some speeding penalties here tonight.
Right, and I mean, it's kind of hard to begin with going from basically 160 to 180 mile an hour all the way down to what is our pit road speed here? I believe it's 55.
50 or 55, yeah.
It's 50.
Okay.
It's 50. So they're going to have a tough task ahead of them to come down pit road as fast as they can, but to not speed on pit road. And then, like you had mentioned before, coming off a hot, slick racetrack down a little bit of a cooler, cleaner pit road, you know, these guys can easily have one mishap to where it could ultimately end their chances at really gaining momentum in this championship.
Yeah, and as Todd mentioned, this is race number 2 of the 4 round, or of the second round. This is race number 2 of the 4 race round. We go Homestead, Texas, Off-Week, Talladega. Josh Parker picked up the win last. Remember, Parker not part of that playoff group, so a non-playoff driver getting the win last week. Coming into tonight, Daniel Falkenham is on top of the board right now, so he is pretty comfortable. Yeah, we got to go back to about 8th place in points, which is Tommy Ryan right on the bubble. Jason Bromps is 9th, Brian Macklin, Randy Yoakum, Joey Gattina. So really we're watching Tommy Ryan a little bit tonight. He actually has, it looks like, about a 3-point cushion over Jason Brom. But Brian Macklin, another one of those drivers that has not had a lot of luck, especially after last week, he actually dropped out of the top 8. And he's just about 5 points behind that cut line. So that's something we got to watch out tonight. Right now, Brian Macklin inside that cut. He's up to 5th right now. Tommy Ryan, did I see him? I don't think he's here.
Yes, he is.
Is he? There he is.
He's 10th on the board.
Yeah,
yep.
Yeah. Okay, so
one driver I do want to mention to watch for tonight is this 41 of EJ O'Rourke. He had a tough week last week. It's going to be crucial to see what he can do here to see if he can actually gain some momentum into trying to get that last 8th spot for next round.
Yeah, and that's something we got to watch out for as we get set to start qualifying here. Very anxious to see how this race goes, Todd, here on this Wednesday afternoon, or not for us now. How'd your day go?
My day went pretty well. I mean, the weather up here isn't really that great, so it's been kind of gloomy and rainy and cold. So basically nothing you could really do except for be inside, and you know how that goes when you're stuck in the house.
Deer hunting.
Then it's perfect weather because it gets the deer moving.
That is true. Yeah, my day's not great. It is what it is. But here's Charles Woods. Right now out on track. Charles not part of this playoff hunt. But why not give him a little bit of love in that U.S. Postal Service? We appreciate Postal Service, even though.
Oh yeah, for sure. Yeah, and I do want to mention.
Late, but whatever. Who said anything?
I do want to mention with the USPS, my Chase Elliott diecast that I've been waiting since basically December of last year finally shipped today.
Really? Which one was that? The championship?
It was the Phoenix win, not the championship one.
Car, though, right?
Yes.
Right. So that's the perfect. That's one I would rather have instead of the championship car personally. Because it's a race.
So I just got word, or well, it was a little while ago. I got the notification saying that my diecast had shipped.
Awesome.
So
that's great.
It's coming through USPS. So hopefully I get it on time.
For sure. Charles Wood gets the third and one. We'll hop back a little bit. Here's Brian Boris Cook, the 63. That's something we're going to try to do a little bit more tonight, guys. I know we've been focused a lot on the playoff drivers. Honestly, they definitely deserve it. But I think we kind of go back through the field a little bit more tonight, Todd. That's something I think we really need to do to get these guys a little bit more airtime. Especially the guys that really deserve it because they've been in here all season and stuff like that. So why not, you know?
Right, and we're going to see the 63 here kind of run that bottom seam almost. He's going to slide up the track, going to run up by the outside wall down the backstretch here. I wonder if he's going to dive it to the inside again.
Looks like he will go towards, not really the bottom, right on that first seam, and up out of the corner he goes. This is what, his first
This will be his, yeah. Let's see what kind of lap time he can bring. It'll be fourth best so far.
We also got a new driver in here, I did not know. Mike Montesi.
I did notice that.
Yeah, for the 45. Also, Todd, for people wanting to know about the Winter Series, you got some info.
Yes, so these guys will be doing a Winter Series. They are actually offering I don't know how much the entry fee is for it, but once you pay to get in, they're doing what they call a Winter Series where you can run in 3 series. Monday night's going to be their next gen Cup series. You would be able to run in that along with their Wednesday night Premier Xfinity series, and on top of that, you'll be able to run in. I believe it's their Sunday night.
The Sunday Night Super Speedway series, yes.
Yep.
So it is the Sim 500 Premier Pass, by the way. That is starting next year. They are starting to take payments for that now. That will actually, I think it's till December 1st or something. But the Winter Series will be $40, by the way. The Winter Pass, that does cover what Todd said, all 3 series. Pretty cool. All 3 series are broadcast. We broadcast the Premier Series, which was going to be awesome. I probably should have said that, yes.
Well, you just leaked the news out, so... So currently, right now, it is none other than, let's see if I can find it here. It is that 45 of that new guy in the league here on the top of the board, Mike Montesi.
How about that?
Well, now he's going to go to second. Tyler Dalton. Yes.
Daniel Falkenham goes to 15th on his first lap. That's what I'm watching right now, working out at turn 2 down the backstretch.
I'm still not worried about Daniel Falkenham. Yeah. This guy can either qualify last.
Yeah, I mean, he'll still be in top 5.
And for sure. He'll one of them guys.
Here it comes up out of turn number 4, coming to the start-finish line. Let's see what he does. Looking for a 33.366. Ryan Howard on top of the board. Not anymore. Daniel Falkenham, top of the board with a 2.87. Ryan Howard's got to be sick.
Yeah, I mean...
Come on, bro. Oh, man. The qualifying is over, though. Tommy Ryan was trying to qualify and did not get it. Here's a look at our starting lineup here for the Night Sim 500 Esports Racing League, sponsored by SnapMobile.shop. We got Mr. Daniel Falkenham, Ryan Howard on the front row. Row number 2, Tyler Dalton, Kevin Brown. Row 3, Justin Fuller, Mike Montesi. Good to see a new name up there. Mike Kelly, Jeff Hollingsworth, who has, honestly, Hollingsworth's been doing better here as late as well, I've noticed. EJ O'Rourke, Bentley Glasser inside the top 10. You got to watch out for that 18 being inside the top 10 early. Jimmy Coleman, Eric Arnold. That's another new name, right? Eric Arnold?
I believe so.
Chad Coleman, Randy Yoakum, 2 playoff contenders in row 7. Row number 8, it is another playoff contender of Jason Brom and Doy Woods. Brian Wortman, Scott Simling, non-playoff driver starting in row 9. Row 10, Joey Gattina, playoff driver with Ron Hollyfield in 20th place. In the 21st and 22nd, we got Brian Boris Cook, another playoff with Jeff Ryan. Charles Woods, Brian Macklin back here in 24th, as well as Tommy Ryan. By the way, these guys did not qualify, with Michael Waters, Jose Polanco, and Doug Simone in row 14. Row 15, we got another J. Randall Watkins and Gerald Livingston. Last but not least, 31st, Joseph Bergeson, the number 91. As we get set to roll off the grid here, Todd Chase Jr., give me your pick here tonight.
Well, I believe I'm going to pick the 33 of Ryan Howard. He started out well last week, ran pretty well, and he ultimately didn't get the finish he really wanted.
Yeah.
So I think he's going to be able to get the job done tonight.
Yeah, winless so far this season, but he's been so close so many times. I'm going to be honest. I think this is going to be a field mileage race. So I think you can throw it out to anybody. I'm going to just randomly say Mike Montesi. That would be cool to see.
I believe that would be cool to see as well as the field starts to roll.
We'll get ready to go. You like this track?
I do. I prefer to race it during the night instead of the day, but just because it's being run at night here during the day to night doesn't mean that it's going to be a bad race. Yeah. I don't think so.
Cars could slip around quite a bit, making things very interesting. Todd, by the way, tell everybody about our Twitter.
Well, if you're watching our broadcast tonight, go ahead, snap a picture, and send it into our Twitter account. We will show your picture and shout you out on the broadcast. So go ahead and do that. And I believe you put the link to our Twitter account in the description, right?
Yes, sir. I can post it in the chat.
Oh, in the chat. Okay.
Twitter plus our Snap Mobile Shop sponsors. So there you go. All three great things. Here we go. Pace truck ready to drop in. Ready to get this one underway. Race number 2, round number 2 for the 500 Truck Series playoffs round ready to take place here from Homestead, Miami, Florida. Green flag out in the air. We're racing here in Miami, Todd.
Yeah, still side by side going into turn 1. Kevin Brown going to look to the inside. Going to try to make it 3 wide with Daniel Falkingham and Ryan Howard. Ryan Howard going to back up just a little as Kevin Brown going to get a little loose in turn 1 and head toward the inside wall.
Kevin Brown falling back. Not what's going to happen here, Todd. Actually, playoff drop. Back to first place.
Man. That is not what you want to see, and I do believe that's just a product of cold tires on
hot track. Yep.
Hot track. Yep.
We talk about it literally every single race that we're in with hot track. We're going to see that a lot tomorrow. But we see that quite a bit. Here comes the 33. Todd, one thing this 33 can do, and you might be able to elaborate a little bit more. Do not be surprised if we see Howard trying to change that lineup a little bit, get out of this dirty air, and try to make a pass.
Yeah, I wonder if he's going to try to kind of peek to the outside and kind of diamond the corner to try to get a good run off of turn 2 and 4, as now he's got a little bit of a draft off of Daniel Falkingham. Not going to take the run just yet going into turn 1.
Yeah, and another thing is probably don't know what these tires are necessarily going to do on the long run. You see the 33 exiting a little bit earlier, but here comes the 19 of Dalton looking to the inside of Howard. Do not be surprised if this line does tend to move up a lot. And, well, then you see that 33 enters a little bit higher and gets the run.
Yeah, and I think that's where you're going to be able to defend your spot as well. Maybe once these tires do get a little bit older, as now you see the 19 and the 33 working to the outside of the 39. Dalton going to go way to the top, not going to have enough to kind of make it 3 wide, as now you see the 33 basically block, and now there you go. Ryan Howard jumps to the lead at the moment.
Here, once we cross the start-finish line, it is going to be Ryan Howard coming up out turn 4. Tyler Dalton with the big run. This line already starting to move up, Todd.
Yeah, and I don't expect it to stay there that long. I expect it to actually get up closer and closer to that outside wall.
Yeah, I mean, look at the 19 here. He's going to have a chance on. Watch this exit that the 19 Tyler Dalton gets here. Watch the run he gets on that 33.
And look at that run he just got.
That's what I'm saying. You're going to have to run that Kyle Larson line. I mean, that's what we're going to call it because that's the run that he always likes doing. The higher you run on this track, the more momentum, the more speed you will take off the exit of the corner. You may lose a little bit entry, but you will gain that back very fast on that exit down the straightaway.
For sure. Tyler Dalton still running about right at Ryan Howard's door for now, but he's going to send it way up the racetrack into turn 1 here.
He's really good in 1 and 2, and you can see it right there. Watch this run he's going to get. He's going to take this lead. Yeah, there he goes.
Yep, right there. Tyler Dalton does make the pass on Ryan Howard. A little bit further back Chase driver Chad Coleman now just jumped up in the 10th, got around the 31 of Eric Arnold.
Jimmy Coleman right in front of him. I believe both of them are brothers in that 54 as they work out of turn 4. Both these guys very good. Well, I'm talking about Jimmy Coleman or Jimmy Chad because of the Arnold. Not bad. You see a bunch of different line pods starting to make their way up.
Oh, for sure. See, I'm watching Chad Coleman right now. He's definitely running that Kyle Larson line for sure. You know, there's a couple of them that are ahead of him as well doing that. And that's going to be interesting to see how much these guys, as they run the bottom now, except for Chad Coleman.
I mean, that's not a bad thing. It gives him out that dirty air, and actually it will help that truck turn a little bit better.
Mike Kelly now getting past the 97 of Jeff Hollingsworth. I was watching him down the front stretch. He did have a good run off of turn 4 there to make that pass going into turn 1.
Yeah, Hollingsworth is actually up 2 spots right now. Biggest mover though, Todd. How about this? 8 laps is going through to the 87. He's got 8 spots.
Wow, that's a good run right there for him. Yeah, and I wonder if that's just a product of being put in a bad spot, you know.
Last year going up to the high side this time. A lot of trucks starting to work their way up to the racetrack. Rip goes up there. Same time, you see the tires start to get high. You got to move around. You got to find some cool track somewhere. Obviously, that higher side will be where it's at.
For sure, and I mean, as now I'm still sitting here watching Justin Fuller. He's going to get a good run here on Eric Arnold coming out of turn 4. Going to run that bottom.
It'll be tough with this pass.
It will be, but I do believe he's going to have enough. As he's going to run, not quite the bottom, but he's going to run that, basically that bottom seam.
Oh!
Tied up to 31, gets a little loose on exit.
That was just product of pushing a little bit too hard.
Yep, and here comes Joey Gattina now with the run on the inside of the 31.
Joey back in 19th. He's up quite a few spots. 7 spots if he gets down to 31. Looks like Joey's going to be able to have side by side. We got a race behind him as well.
Yeah, I'm looking for Joey to have a really solid race here tonight. I mean, he's been doing pretty well these past few weeks. Let's see if we can actually keep that trend up.
For sure.
But up front, it's still Tyler Dalton enjoying basically a half a second lead over Ryan Howard, and that.
Third right now.
Yeah.
How about this Mike Monty? I don't know a lot about him. I'll be honest. I don't know a lot about Mike Monty. He's up 2 spots right now. Right there in the on-site, you can tell what is the sponsor, on-site gas system. So he's been in the 500 before because he's got the old banner on there. So he's definitely running here before.
I wonder if he just hasn't been running as of lately, and you know, it looks like he's been running the right lane here tonight.
Good.
So
even though he may be familiar with some of these guys, somebody we're not familiar with, so it's always good to see that. He's racing against one of the best in the city right now.
Yeah, he's going to run that high lane, but he's going to get a little loose on exit here at turn 2. That's going to open the door for Mike Kelly to get a good run on him coming into turn 3 here, as Mike Kelly's got a lot of rear end damage.
Yeah, somebody's got to have a lot of front-end damage because there is a lot of damage. Oh, here goes the 45 once again, battling that car or truck.
As we got our first yellow out.
Yeah, something happened. EJ O'Rourke, Todd, to 41.
No!
Yep.
This is not what EJ wanted.
Car contact. He wasn't the only one. Jason Brom also involved.
Man.
Off to turn 2, and that's where the damage, by the way, come from. EJ's got front and nose damage, and there's some more. And it looks like, really looks like Jason Brom's going to be okay, but EJ's got some big skin. We'll be honest, EJ's putting himself in that situation, Tom, where it's going to be must win here over the next 2 weeks.
Oh, I believe even after last week, it was a must-win situation.
You said that last week. You did mention that. I mean, these guys are so good. It's tough.
Mm-hmm. So here we go. We're going to see some guys come down pit road. I am not surprised by this at all with how warm this track is.
Yeah, you're going to stop here every chance you get.
I mean, we're only 15, well, not quite 15 laps in yet, but there we go. Do have some guys staying out, though, and I don't know about these guys staying out.
Sitting here looking around, yeah, personally, I'm not a fan of staying out. That's just my personal opinion. I think on these old tires, you know, you're just going to get literally your headlights sucked out. But I will say, Todd, interesting stops. A lot of two tires, actually 3 two-tire stops. Mike Kelly, Justin Fuller, Bentley Classic. So
there you go.
Yeah.
Be interesting to see these first 2 rows, see what they can do. You know, my guess is we're going to see Mike Kelly, it'll be it'll be Mike Kelly, who I believe did run first off pit road. Am I right on that?
Yes. He had a 6.6 second stop, but he still comes out first.
So it'll be Mike Kelly and Justin Fuller with the first row with fresh tires.
Fresher tires.
Fresher tires, I guess you could say. Them guys are definitely going to be flying going down into turn 1. I expect them to at least make it 3, maybe even 4 wide.
I'm going to be honest.
You know, once we restart.
To be honest with you, something else is sitting here looking. I kind of like the idea of taking 2. You know?
I mean, yeah.
Why not try it to see this early? It may not work.
It may not work, but if it does, man, and we have a late race yellow, you've got a golden opportunity right there. You know, basically your shot at winning if nobody comes down pit road.
For sure. Here we go.
So here we go, working our first caution. It is Jeff Hollingsworth staying out, leading the field, with Chad Coleman running second, Eric Arnold running third, Kevin Brown running fourth, Mike Kelly fifth, Justin Fuller sixth, Bentley Glasser seventh, Tyler Dalton eighth, Daniel Falkingham ninth, and Ryan Howard 10th.
So we are set to go back green here in just a moment. And we will get ready to go back at it here, Tyler.
While we're waiting for these guys to basically double file up, do want to mention that I will be putting on a street stock event coming up here in November. It'll be called the Street Stock Nationals. It'll be run at Nashville Fairgrounds Speedway. So if you are interested in running that kind of race, there is an entry fee for it. It's not expensive at all. It's only $10, but if we can get as many as I think we can get, all that money that comes in from the entry fees will be paid out literally to the top 10 of our featured drivers.
Yes,
so
we're stepping in to broadcast for free. Like doing that.
Yep.
I like you, Tom.
So if you're interested in that, you can go ahead, send me a personal message on Facebook, or you can message us on here on YouTube, or is this on Facebook yet? Okay. All right. So,
you can message us on Facebook too. You know.
Yeah, you can message us on Facebook, or even comment on here saying that you're interested. There is a license limit, or not necessarily a license limit, but there is a iRating limit, a minimum of 1,000 iRating and a maximum of 4,000 iRating. So, if you're interested, message us. We'll get you all into that stuff as we are green flag back out out on the track here at Homestead. It is Jeff Hollingsworth with a good run out of turn 2 here on Chad Coleman.
For sure on that. You see Jeff Hollingsworth doing good so far. First car with fresh tires. A little bit further back right now in the 5th position. That's Daniel Falkingham, Todd, with the 39 right now, running 5th.
Yeah, a lot of good racing back there with them fresher tires. Going to see Kevin Brown going to get around Chad Coleman here for second. And look at this, Justin Fuller back there. Or, I'm sorry, that's Daniel Falkingham, however.
Yeah, up to fourth right now, looking on the outside of the 31, Eric Arnold. Eric Arnold, by the way, did not pit, it looks like, Tom, that 31.
No, and that he's basically learning right now that he probably should have pitted. Here we go.
Yeah.
Daniel Falkingham with a big run, going to push, I believe it's Kevin Brown, yes. He's going to go up to the high side.
Honestly, what Kevin Brown, I understand why Kevin Brown stayed out. He's hoping for an early caution here to try to get back into rhythm, and we may have something going on a little bit further.
There we go.
Yep.
Big hard hit back there.
That was Joey Gattina.
Oh, no.
Yeah, I seen 3 wide coming off that corner. They was really close. Here's more. We got to get a replay here. I don't think
no caution yet.
Todd. I don't think anything. It looked like the 18 and 45 and the 14 got together. 45, really hard hit, though.
And there's the yellow.
What was that for? Oh, there's another wreck that actually just happened, Todd. This is J. Randall Watkins on the front stretch. And out of turn 4, up into the wall. Yes, gets squeezed a little bit. And then comes off the wall. And unfortunately into the 40, who gets a hard hit of Charles Woods.
Tough break for them guys.
Yeah,
and that
big hits there.
And that could have came out at the perfect time for Daniel Falkingham because he had literally just got around Jeff Hollingsworth coming out of turn 2 and the yellow had come out. So that's going to put him in a good spot, and as well as Tyler Dalton, who has now just jumped up to 4th.
So, I'm getting ready to maybe come down pit road.
I don't see these guys that had just pitted come down pit road. I think we're going to see, Hollingsworth and Coleman.
That's the thing. Yep. I feel like Kevin Brown wanted us to go green a little bit longer. 15 or so laps. Yeah, he would have lost spots. We know that with fresh tires, but he would still have been around probably 15th or so.
Yep, as now we'll see these guys come down pit road. One stayed out. I believe it was the 31. He faked coming down pit road. And I don't know if I like that call.
Yeah, honestly, man.
I mean, your doors are just going to be blown off.
Yeah, I'm not a person who's going to stay out. Just my opinion of it. But anyway, we'll see how it plays out. Here is the 39 Falkingham, though. He's staying out right now. If you look here, let's look at some of these paints, because why not? We haven't done that in a while. Falkingham driving at Raging Cage Graphics. He's been in that all season long. Okay, Daniel, can we change up the color combo just a little bit? Put some blue on the side and black. He's going to kill me for saying that, but we got to change up a little bit. Go on one race, and I'll be happy. Maybe he'll do it for a championship race or something. Tyler Dalton, another paint that could be changed up, Tyler.
I was just going to say.
Ryan Howard, change up just a little bit. I get Dr. Pepper, at least throw a can or something on the side. Eric Arnold, good to see that paint, though, the Oreo paint. Tommy Ryan and Northern Toll Equipment. A lot of familiar paints in here. Doy Woods, another one. We've seen all these, I think, this year pretty much.
Brian
Coleman,
Macklin.
Haven't seen that paint in a while. Randy Yoakum, we've seen Jose Polanco, we've seen Jeff Ryan, we have seen Brian Bars Cook, we have seen Jason Brom, we have seen. Come on, we gotta have a new paint. I do like Jeff Hollingsworth paint. That's different. Like that. Justin Fuller running that Personal Comfort. Kevin Brown running that Twitch paint scheme. The Adrenaline Shot Chad Coleman ran that all season 2. A lot of very familiar. It doesn't look like there's many new paints in here tonight anyway. Brian Wortman running that Bucky's paint scheme. A lot of damage. Joseph Burgess looks like he might be running a different scheme. I remember he had Track Racer, but I can't remember if that was a scheme. Everybody else looks like they're running the same. Surprise, Todd. I'm going to be honest. I am a graphics freak. Like, I would literally change my paint almost every race.
Kind of the same way, too. but not as of lately. I mean, I haven't been racing that much lately as well, but
This is your progress.
I know, but some depending on the sponsor, it's always nice to have one main car to run,
Yeah, for sure.
and then you have an extra one to where it's a little more special, kind of like whether it be set up for like your big races like the Coke 600 if you're running in the Cup Series or something like stuff like that, you know.
Sure.
But as we see the field starting to double file up, it will be Daniel Falkingham and Tyler Dalton on the front row, Ryan Howard and Eric Arnold your second row, Tommy Ryan and Doy Woods your third row, Brian Macklin and Jimmy Coleman fourth row, and Randy Yoakum and Jose Polanco your fifth row.
Top where we go tomorrow.
Tomorrow, Red Sox Racing League will be going to Barcelona. I am so pumped up for that race.
Yeah, it's gonna be deep. I'm anxious for that one too. I like the Red Sox. We got to recover from our last week debacle that we had.
Yeah.
We kind of did that broadcast pretty bad. Friday night, because we had no broadcast Saturday, but Friday night we got 2 more races left over there. We go to Todd's favorite track, Michigan International Speedway. Probably should have let you do that one, to be honest.
Nah.
Probably should let you introduce that one. That is. So we will be there September 24th, and then Sunday, ASL.
That's going to be another good broadcast there with them 2 races.
Yeah, it's going to be fun. I'm kind of looking at going to Sonoma. I like Sonoma. I like broadcasting Sonoma.
So here we go. Green flag back out in the air here at Homestead. Daniel Falkingham with a really good launch. Gonna basically run the middle there for a second. Now he's gonna dive to the bottom here in 1 and 2. Tyler Dalton back there getting challenged for second with him and Ryan Howard. Ultimately gonna be able to get a good enough run out of turn 2. And like you said,
Tommy Ryan did take 4 tires. Good to see Tommy starting to work his way up.
Yep.
He's actually up 21 spots, Todd, since the drop of the green flag.
Yeah, and here comes Tyler Dalton, still kind of looking for that run off of Daniel Falkingham, but he's still running that high lane, and it's still kind of working for him as he's going to get a good run off of turn 2. Watch for that run.
Comes off turn 2, you're going to utilize that traffic a little bit, plus the movement drop, maybe look to the inside. There he goes.
Oh, we got a big wreck down the back stretch.
31, and Todd, I hate to say it, you know what I'm about to say. It's Eric
Yep.
Arnold, and I bet you he got loose or pushed up, and it was actually not really his fault. Brian Macklin also got involved in that, Todd.
Yeah, another playoff driver.
But anyway, what I was going to say, the 31, no tires since the start of this green flag run, since the start of this race. Here's what happened.
Yep.
The 30 comes up into the 31. Hard contact there, and even more bigger behind them. It was just, whoa. Boy, 93.
I mean,
Kevin Brown had to dodge. Kind of uncharacteristic. See this in yellows early in the race.
I mean, yeah, and then who'd you say it was? The 30 getting into the 31 there?
The 30 coming up the race there.
I mean, that's very uncharacteristic of Brian Macklin. So, don't see anybody going to come down pit road, maybe a little bit further back in the field.
Very surprised right now. This race. I'm not going to lie. It's kind of catch me off guard. The way the trucks are kind of handling. We are getting cooler track temps now. 98 degrees right now, Todd.
Yeah, you could definitely tell that it is, I guess you could say, kind of getting closer to the sunset kind of feeling, I guess you could say.
Yeah, it definitely does look like the sun's starting to go down. So I guess this is going to become a possible night race, huh?
I mean,
close.
Yeah. It's going to be real close, like you said.
Where do we go next weekend?
Good question.
Was it Texas?
I think so. I mean, I gotta start writing these down. That way, when you answer me that
Texas.
question.
See, I remember all this stuff by head, by the way. It's kind of crazy how, I don't know how I can't remember nothing where I put it, but somehow I remember this stuff.
Right. I mean, I'm the type of person where if you say something to me like off, like right now, we're talking on air. But I mean, if you say something to me off air, I'll remember it the next day. But after that, it for some reason it just goes away. And then when you ask me that question, I can't ever remember what it is. So I'm that type of person that's actually got to write it down when you tell me what it is. That way, I've got it sitting there in front of me.
I hear that for sure. Well, that's what I need to do. I need to start using like sticky notes for my on my computer screen, because you can get sticky notes. They're built into your computer, and you can like post them everywhere on your computer.
Right.
And just have them up on your desktop or on your side screen or something like that. I think that'd be a great idea. I need to start doing that more. So anyway, like Todd said, race number 2 from Barcelona tomorrow for the Red Sox Racing Series, part of the European Tour. For people that want to join that, they literally just started last week. You still got time. I think they allow a drop week too. So
right. And
so
Red Sox,
one.
I do believe Red Sox is a great league that if you're not very familiar with road racing,
Get in it.
Please take the time, run some laps, get used to the cars, how they handle, and join their league. They do a great job over there.
One of the best leagues we have ever broadcasted. That's just being honest. They have been around since the beginning of iRacing. There was founded by John Henry, literally the co-owner not only of iRacing but the Boston Red Sox as well. Roush Fenway Racing, the owner of that or co-owner of that. So they have been around a long time, and there's a reason why they've been around a long time. And they are the most nicest people that I've ever worked with.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah, I'm not even lying about that.
I'm not one for actually running road races, but when I ran I believe it was their 6-race summer series here a few months ago, I was not very good. I will tell you that. But as long as you put the effort in, them guys over there, they were willing to help you get better.
Yeah. That's one thing I like about most of our leagues. I mean, each league we got has some good drivers that are willing to help. I do believe that. I think Sunday does good. I think this league does a good job of it. Now, I will say this league definitely way more competitive.
Oh, for sure. I mean, I do believe the guy in here with the highest I rating is, Daniel Falkingham?
Yes, I think.
So, I mean, for somebody to have the highest I rating in this league, continuously, basically blowing your doors off, yes, it may feel bad because you're not getting the chance at wins because he's so consistent, but ultimately, in the long run, being beat by him is only going to make you better. As we see the pace truck come down pit road, green flag back out in the air here at Homestead. Falkingham and Tyler Dalton. And we got another yellow out.
What the heck?
I believe it was a bunch up on the restart.
Joseph Burgess involved, Scott Simley involved. Somebody got wheel spin. This is the only explanation I got. Here we go. Here's the replay. And, oh yeah. Looked like Kevin Brown was involved. He got hit in the back, and that sent him into the 12. Some other cars involved as well.
Yeah, and that's one thing we actually have not hit on yet tonight is wheel spin off of a restart.
Yeah, this is a weird race right now. I'm not going to lie. We normally don't see this. Kevin Brown's got quite a bit of damage to his back, and I think he might have had help. I think somebody lifted up his back tires. Let's see. Oh, they checked up in front.
Mm-hmm.
So, Brian Boris Cook got ran into by Kevin Brown, who checked up. Yeah, that's what it was. There's just a stack up. Jose Polanco looks like stacked up the field a little bit. And that causes that to happen.
Do you think maybe he missed a shift?
That's a possibility. That's a weird place to not really go. Like the way he did it was kind of strange,
So here we go. This is caution number 4? Which is very uncharacteristic of this league to begin with. I mean, it seems like everything that we're talking about tonight is very uncharacteristic of this league.
You got a point on that one.
So I don't think we're going to have anybody except for them guys that were involved in that wreck come down pit road. But I mean, this is actually going to help these guys up front save fuel.
I agree. I mean, That's what's really curious to me is what is the fuel mileage run for this?
I don't know.
I'm not sure either. Because honestly, I mean, I don't know. I really don't know. Like, really, your best bet is to save gas here. I mean, why wouldn't you, you know?
Right, yeah, definitely we could see these, at least the top three here are definitely saving fuel, because I see Falkingham kind of catching up to the pace truck and then kind of drifting back towards Tyler Dalton, and then he gets back in it and catches the pace truck again, so definitely saving some fuel here.
It's okay.
So yeah, working I believe it's our fourth caution. It is Daniel Falkingham.
Yes, it is our fourth caution right now for 14 laps, Todd. Like I said, uncharacteristic. I mean, Ford lead changes so far as I've choked to death. I'm getting ready to double up next time by, it looks like.
Do want to mention the 51 of Justin Fuller has disconnected from the server. So I wonder if he was involved in that big wreck here on the front stretch. And ultimately, that is going to, I don't know if it's necessarily going to hurt him come playoff points, but it is definitely not.
Didn't he?
Yeah, this is definitely not the finish that he needed tonight.
Yeah, he, man, I'm going to be honest, this is going to hurt him quite a bit, Todd. I think it's going to knock him out of the top 8.
But Justin Fuller, he's another one of them drivers, just like Daniel Falkingham and Tyler Dalton, where they can win at any given moment.
And here's why I said not knocking out the top 8. Because he's only a 2-point advantage right now over Tyler Dalton. 4 over Ryan Howard. Looks like 7 over Kevin Brown. 7 over Mike Kelly. Chad Coleman 9. So I mean, each spot, each position's a point, and he's going to wind up what place is he most likely going to finish? Charles Woods may finish in front of him, so probably 28th, I would guess.
Probably.
Yeah. Wow. All right, double them back up.
Yep. It will be Daniel Falkingham and Tyler Dalton leading the field to green as soon as we get that green flag. Ryan Howard and Tommy Ryan will make up the second row. Brian Macklin and Randy Yoakum will be the third row. Jimmy Coleman and Jeff Ryan will be the fourth row. And Jose Polanco and Jason Brown will round out your fifth row.
All right, so we are ready to get back going here at Homestead, Miami. Lap number 37 set to come up in this one.
Do you think we're going to see some wheel spin out of these front rows?
I think that... No, I don't. I think that wasn't really wheel spin. I think that was just guys checking up. I mean, it could have been a little bit of wheel spin on Jose's truck. It's something we're going to have to look for, but I mean, who really knows?
Here we go. Pace truck dives down pit road. Green flag back out in the air here at Homestead. Daniel Falkingham with a huge restart. Going to leave Tyler Dalton and Ryan Howard in his dust. See Ryan Howard challenging Dalton for that second spot. Dalton's going to get the good run running the top on Howard. Still kind of side by side for now.
They also see Tommy Ryan and Brian Macklin right there. Macklin's going to follow in line behind Ryan now. Set his sights on, or in fifth right now. Still side by side. Dalton with the big run out of turn 4.
Yep, Dalton going to clear Ryan Howard for second there, as Daniel Falkingham will lead that lap. And we got some good racing back there for about 9th or 10th, I want to say.
Yeah, it's Bentley Glasser up in 10th. That's Jeff Ryan right in front of him in 9th, and then behind him, after that. I mean, they're stacking up everywhere. So, Brian Boris Cook 11th. Trying to look around to see. Dory Woods up on the outside wall. EJ also in this battle as well. We thought EJ was in toast, but he's
he's recovering very well from that early wreck. Currently running 14th is now Mike Kelly. Gets past Dory Woods for 15th. EJ gonna pass Michael Waters for 13th. Meanwhile, up front.
Yep, Tyler Dalton. we seen that boat, didn't we?
Yep. Battle for the lead is definitely heating up now, and I believe that outside lane is really working for Dalton. See him, he's gonna send it in there up high.
And honestly, Todd, this is going to save tires too, I believe, for him.
Right. Look at that run he gets. And he's going to look to the inside here in turn 3. I don't know if it's going to be enough to clear Buckingham at the moment. He's going to have to send it in here in turn 1 and hopefully get the good enough run out of turn 2 to kind of pull up alongside Buckingham.
Went to the bottom that time as well. Still watching this battle up front for the race lead with Tyler Dalton and trying to run down the
Yeah, it almost seems like if he can get the good run off of 2 and kind of go high like you see he's doing, he's going to have the good run. And, well, maybe not this lap.
Big slide.
Uh-huh.
That will eat your tires up if you slide a lot, so...
Yes, and this place is notorious for feeling like a 4-tire drift. I will put that out, because it has happened to me multiple times.
Yeah, this is not your typical mile-and-a-half racetrack.
So here comes Dalton, still kind of looking to try to find a way around Buckingham. He's going to have a huge run here in 3 and 4 at the moment.
Go slide a little bit.
Yep, not going to have enough again.
I don't know if he's really sliding or it just looks like he's sliding. It really looks like he is.
Yeah, and I wonder if Buckingham is actually taking more time to get his exit, down really well to beat him off the corner.
Yeah, the 19 not that time really not that much faster off the corner. Cutting under a good job. And you see right here, Dalton going back to the low side this time. So we're seeing a lot of trucks start to run low now.
Right, a little bit.
Yeah, I do expect that line to move back up. I mean,
oh, for sure.
Well, this stint is 29 laps in right now, but literally we've been cautioned for over half of that. So
right. A little bit further back, a little while ago, Bentley Glasser was able to get around Jimmy Coleman, and also Brian Boris Cook was able to get around Jeff Ryan for 10th.
So they're battling again right now, side by side. Brian Boris Cook, Jeff Ryan. This is like Todd said, 14th place.
And it does look like that outside lane, like you said, some of these guys is working really well. As you see EJ kind of helping the 63 in about midway through that turn there, but he's going to run the outside lane to push the, I believe it's the 54? Yes. Well, it's the 54, but he's got the 3 on the side, custom paint. Well, no. I'm wrong.
You are wrong, Todd.
Yeah, I'm always wrong. I'm always messing things up.
It's okay. They had a horse track here too. I had to do it. I'm sorry.
I hate you so much right now. I hate you so much.
Oh gosh. Brian Boris Cook starting EJ. You also got Kevin Brown right there as well. Underneath the 41. Now we're starting to kind of separate here, and this is where long run really could set in.
I do believe we will see this kind of settle down, and like you said, kind of bring out that longer run that we were expecting.
Gerald Livingston gets around Doug Simone. Ron Hollyfield a little bit further back. This is for 20th. Ron in that yellow number 11. He's not going to be able to go just now. Or not going to be able, well, he might be able to get a run here. It looks like he is, side by side with the 04. Working up out of the corner. And
41. The 41 back there off of turn 2 was trying to do the slide job on Kevin Brown. Was basically going to try to block him and got a little loose as we see Kevin Brown and the 41 get loose again off of turn 4.
Yeah, if I'm Coleman, I'm probably going to think about bringing back on this just a little bit, or, you know, it kind of gets settled a little bit right there. There's a little bit more space now.
See EJ sliding up the racetrack to block that outside lane. But here comes the 38 in the 2 with 2 really good runs off of turn 2. This is going to push them guys up a little bit further up the pack now. Is this Chad Coleman going to go to 12th and push EJ to 13th?
Probably had something happen up front. In 4th place, Tyler Dalton has fallen back to 4th.
Yeah, I wonder if kind of...
He maybe pushed too hard?
I'm thinking that's what it is. Sometimes when you run this track, it will almost kind of feel like a cheese grater once you go over them seams. And maybe that's what happened is, like you said, he must have overused his stuff and is now starting to fall back.
We got so many different strategies right now.
Oh,
it's on 35 lap stint. You got Chad Coleman that's on 21 lap stint. You got Kevin Brown, EJ, and Mike Kelly, and them it's on 16. I mean, there's so many difference in tires and all that. And some of that may have been fuel mileage or just gas only, but you know that could play a factor in this race at some point if we stay green. So if caution comes out now, everybody's coming in.
Oh, 100%. But I don't know. This field's kind of spaced out a little bit here as we got a new 2nd place guy coming back up to the front. It is Ryan Howard.
Yeah, they're running pretty close to the same time as Falkenham. Not quite there yet. Last time by, looks like Falkenham may have been the fastest. No, the fastest last time by was actually Chad Coleman in the 38. So, of course, Coleman a little bit fresher tires than Falkenham, but still something maybe to watch out for. Chad Coleman, Jimmy Coleman getting past, and Chad going to take 10th away from the 54.
Bentley Glasser now going to get around Randy Yoakum for 6th.
Yeah, I haven't spoken a lot about Randy, honestly.
No, and we actually haven't talked about Bentley that much either tonight. These guys could definitely have some really good runs. They're both not a part of the playoffs. So I see these guys maybe finishing inside the top 10, maybe even the top 5 very easily here tonight. Jason Brom was able to get around Randy Yoakum, there for 7th, and it looks like Yoakum's now gonna fall into the clutches of Brian Boris Cook. It'll be interesting to see if he can hold him off. Out of turn 4, definitely gonna hold them guys off for now. Gonna run them bottom as Boris Cook's gonna send it up there high.
Yeah, multiple grooves. By the way, just want to mention Ryan Howard ran faster, and that gap is closing for that lead, by the way.
Yep, big run for Brian Boris Cook as he ran to the outside. Got it off of turn 2. Gonna send it up high again here in 3 and 4 as Chad Coleman now got to peek to the inside of the 6 of Randy Yoakum. Ooh. The 6 almost came down on the 38. Wonder if he just didn't anticipate him being there.
Randy Yoakum, he's doing a nice job running right there where he's at. I don't know. I need to check to see where he's at in the points because I think he's inside the top 8. No, he is right outside the top 8, so he's a pretty big run here now. And he's going to get a spot out of this if he continues up front.
Do also want to mention the 14 of Joey Gattina doing a solid job recovering from that early wreck
We
break.
was talking about him pre-race, and we was discussing him in the playoffs. And you said it's consistency, and well, we always said if even top 15s in this league pretty big. So and that's one thing about him. He does run pretty consistent.
Yeah, currently running 13th right now, and he's another one of them guys that I can actually see finishing inside the top 10 here tonight.
It does look official that Justin Fuller will finish 28th, by the way. He's the lowest running playoff driver.
And meanwhile, it is Daniel Falkingham still leading the field. Ryan Howard about 4/10, and then you go all the way back to Tommy Ryan, who's 1 second behind our top two.
Todd, you know what time it is, man.
It's time to turn it up.
Yep, turn it up time. Crank up your speakers and all that good stuff. Put it back here in a few laps.
Big trouble for Michael Waters. He was getting a little loose here past few laps. I know I'm breaking in a little bit early, but he did slap the wall here. Now it's going to be interesting to see if he can bring that truck down pit road early to save a caution from happening and make it to pit road, but he's got to get a little loose coming onto pit road, and he's going to wreck.
Yeah, well, it's something we talked about, Todd. I noticed him during the Turn It Up segment just now that and I even told you, we need to watch him because he was literally all over the place, like as far as looseness goes. As you see the replay of him getting on the pit road, he actually had to tow, by the way. That's probably going to end his night in the 55, but goes to show you, I don't know what kind of lap tires or what kind of tires he had in that stint, but man, he was really loose all during that segment.
Yeah, I mean, he was struggling big time for the last 2 laps before he actually got too loose and slapped the outside wall with first the nose and then the rest of the truck. You know, I believe
Dalton looking underneath Tommy Ryan, by the way, for third right now.
Yep, Dalton with a huge run on the inside of Tommy Ryan.
But that's what I'm saying, Todd. You've seen him come off the track to that pit road.
I believe he was coming in too hot to begin with.
Yeah, I mean, these guys, that's the thing. This track temp at 96 degrees, it's going to be an issue. Like, I don't care. These tires are very hot. They're probably hotter than 96 degrees. I mean.
Oh, I believe so.
Like I say, they're up in the 200s, honestly.
And now with these guys, running up front in this long green flag run, I'm kind of curious to see when these guys decide to come down pit road.
Yeah, Brian Boris Cook getting around Brian Macklin, by the way, moving himself into 6th. Boris Cook having a good run right now.
Yeah, running that, I believe it's that Bitcoin
Yep.
Toyota.
Yes, sir. Actually,
Got
our
Macklin.
only Toyota right now well, there's actually 3 Toyotas in a row, 6th, 7th, and 8th. But
that time in turn 2, Macklin had the run, but he wasn't able to get it off the exit. He's gonna kind of run that bottom seam. Gonna kind of slide up the racetrack. Not gonna have a good enough run to contend that 6th spot with Brian Boris Cook. But up front, Daniel Falkingham still continuing to grow his lead ever so slightly. Now it's up to 5 seconds, almost 6/10. And then you got Tyler Dalton, who's about 2.3 seconds behind them guys.
Yep.
So I wonder if Dalton's actually trying to save a little bit of bit of fuel or a little bit of tire to go a little longer.
I can tell you, he was faster than Falkingham last time by. I'll let you know this time, about the same. The fastest for the last 2 laps was Ryan Howard, though. Now, he is 5/10 back, so a little ways to go, but, you know, something to kind of I've noticed the speeds have dropped down to almost 2 seconds, Todd, as far as time goes. Falkingham's best lap is a 33.554. The last lap is a 35.280 for Daniel, and that's the 39, of course. Something to think about.
Right, and as we see this lap by, Falkingham was still a little bit faster than Howard. No, it was Howard faster by about, what would you say, about 3 thousandths or whatever, however it is.
Much, but he was a little bit faster, yeah.
So,
still right around 5/10, right around 5 to 6 tenths. Falkingham looks a little bit faster this lap as well. It's going to be close, though. No, actually, that time by, Ryan Howard was, very slightly faster. Not much really going on. Here's Jimmy Coleman, Gerald. Actually, Jimmy Coleman, EJ O'Rourke, I'm sorry, for 14th. EJ part of that playoff group as well. Jimmy not, but Jimmy's trying to take away the 14th spot. EJ actually has fresher tires than the 54, which is kind of surprising to see him. He ran up on him.
Right, and I wonder if this is just the 41 trying to save them tires for, if we do get a late race caution,
Yeah, if these guys can make the lap 80, they're going to make it all the way on one more stop.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah, we're 50 laps right now? So,
yes.
We've been 56 underneath this stint with some of these guys. Keep in mind a lot of that was under caution. So, there is that aspect of it, but something to think about.
But right now, the 41 is doing a good job at holding that 54 behind him. 54 still kind of pushing the 41. Now going to kind of peek to the inside. Not going to take that run. Going to look to the outside now. And there you go. EJ going to get a little loose. Running that high lane.
Oh,
he's going to be able to keep it off the wall. Wow.
Moment, huh?
Yep. And now this is going to allow the 54 to get not necessarily past him, but get kind of up alongside of him.
That was a pretty good save, though.
And look at the 41. He had a heck of a good save there. Turns 1 and 2, and now he's.
Pit stops are in the way. We got Jose Polanco on. Brian Boris Cook is pitted from the top 6 spot.
And I believe that's a good call for the 63.
Yeah, I like it. I'm a big fan of that.
Meanwhile, EJ still kind of getting a little loose. I wonder if he's kind of pushing it off of 2.
Brian Boris Cook really slow. Actually, pit road box, but it should be okay. Pretty slow stop in general. About a second longer than what you want to be, so that's making a little time there. But watch the cold tires once he comes back out on track.
I wonder if that's why he took his time leaving his pit stall, so that he didn't have that issue.
Possibility. Yeah, because it looks like Jose Polanco also took his time leaving as well. Charles Woods may have got caught speeding in the 40, which he is 6 laps down, unfortunately. Bentley Glasser is closing in on Tommy Ryan here for 4th time.
Yeah, Bentley doing a really good job here tonight. You know, Tommy Ryan doing a good job as well, but if I'm Tommy Ryan, man, to get any kind of advantage on Dalton, Howard, and Falkingham, I'd be coming down pit road this time by.
Bentley's such a good driver. We don't give him enough credit. He races in the Sunday League as well, we broadcast. He just hasn't had the luck in here that we're used to seeing him have over there.
No, but
he's a great driver.
Yeah, and he keeps showing up week in and week out, and you know, it ultimately that win I do actually seeing him get here pretty shortly. You know, if he continues to run the way he's been. He's gonna look to the inside right here of the 99 with Tommy Ryan going on a turn 3, and the 99 just pretty much gave it to him. Said, "Here you go." Want to see if he's going to come down pit road this time, and he will, as he will bring Chad Coleman with him.
Yeah, there's a few other cars that also is on pit road. Brian Macklin looks like he's on there. Jimmy Coleman really slowing the pit stop on his, but that was scheduled. Let's see if Macklin or Ryan or any of them have any technical. Mike Kelly also on pit road.
And here comes Ryan Howard down pit road. Now this will be interesting to see what Ryan Howard does leaving pit road. If he can get out, you know, at a decent amount of speed and not have any issues, this will actually help him get around the 39 eventually.
Dalton on pit road, Glasser on pit road. You mentioned Howard, Jason Brom on pit road, multiple trucks pitting now. Definitely scheduled stop here.
So now here comes Daniel Falkingham. He's going to get a little loose coming onto the apron. I wonder if he's going to be a little bit fast coming down here.
He got it. It's close, but I think he was going to be okay. Everybody else, by the way, we had mentioned on pit road did not have any issues that I've seen.
So with all these pit stops going on, this is going to actually let Chad Coleman and Joey Gattina and Kevin Brown, you know, basically take over the top 3 spots.
Yeah,
here.
They can actually go probably another 6 or 7 laps, honestly, without a problem. Falkingham, by the way, it just left his pit box. Pretty good stop there, 37.7 total time. That's the fastest pit stop we've seen in the box all night besides 2 tires or something like that.
So now the question is, will Chad Coleman be able to get around him? I don't think he will, because Coleman's now in the middle of 1 and 2. Falkingham is in the middle of the backstretch, so ultimately that will help Falkingham and save him from going down a lap.
Yeah. Ryan Holiday is on pit road as well. In the 11 truck. Sitting here waiting for Chad Coleman, Joey Gattina, and all them guys to come down. Kevin Brown, also E.J. O'Rourke, Joe Livingston, Billy Woods, and Joseph Burgess. Your top 7 right now have not been a pit road.
Boy, look at the run that the 2 gets from the fresh tires. You know, I'm glad Chad Coleman realized that and just kind of stayed where he was at, because had he gotten up in front of that 2, that would have been a mess.
That would have been bad. All in all, though, pretty good racing now, Todd, after we got that first, or the first few cautions out of the way.
Chad Coleman and Kevin Brown coming down pit road now. That's going to hand the lead over to Joey Gattina. Man, how big would this be for Joey Gattina if he was able to lock his way into the next round by winning
They do not
tonight?
lock their way in if they win. I forgot. Remember when he told that? Yeah. forgot all about that. But it would still be a big win as far as points go.
Wow,
So
look at this. Daniel Falkingham, Ryan Howard, and Brian Boris Cook have literally leapfrogged pretty much a bunch of these guys. Is now they are literally 3rd, 4th, and 5th.
I'm very impressed with Boris Cook tonight.
I mean, yeah, he could definitely be your dark horse. That's for sure.
Yeah, it'd be pretty awesome. He's having one heck of a run.
Daniel Falkingham and Ryan Howard now jump to 2nd and 3rd. Now it'll be interesting to see when Joey Gattina comes down pit road, and I believe he will come down this time by.
Yep, so this is going to change this back over. You lock him up a little bit, but this is going to all cycle back through to Daniel Falkingham, we believe.
Yes, and I think Ryan Howard actually closed in a little bit on Falkingham.
Yeah, he was faster last time by.
If I remember right, when Howard came down pit road, he was literally about maybe a second and a half to almost 1.7 seconds behind Falkingham, and now you see him, basically 6/10 behind Falkingham.
So we are on lap 83 here of this 120 lap event. Pretty solid racing here tonight, all in all. But the big thing we can take away from it, Todd, is without winning in the end, of course, no lock-ins like we talked about a minute ago. The big news is Justin Fuller and EJ both not having the best night here. It'll get interesting come next week.
Yeah, EJ O'Rourke still kind of running 19th right now, but I believe that's because he had just come down pit road. But yeah, as far as Justin Fuller, man, that incident that he had off of that restart there on the front stretch definitely going to hurt him in the points. And I don't know if it's going to put him in a must-win situation going into next week, but with the way how Justin Fuller runs, he is so aggressive and he's so good at it. He can literally be in them positions week in and week out and still find a way to get himself locked into the next round.
Yeah, I got a funny story. It's kind of off topic. I was sitting here thinking about it. I mentioned this earlier. We got some time kind of right now where everything's starting to space out just a little bit. So I had to go by the store today, correct? There was it's kind of like a drop-off at this convenience store, kind of to the road. Anyway, they got these, like the thing that will stop you, kind of like a big curve that will stop you from going over. Brand new car bought today, as we look right here, by the way. Tyler Dalton with passing Brian Boris Cook. This will be for 3rd, and you see Dalton taking that spot away. But anyway, a brand new car that was just bought today went over that curve and got stuck, and there were springs and everything hanging out from underneath the car.
Oh,
I know it's a random thing to talk about right now.
Yeah.
It's just, imagine getting a new car that happened. I mean, this was bought today, like you seen on the tag. Yeah.
I would be so embarrassed.
They forgot what happened was they put it in drive and I guess they didn't realize that they was in drive. They thought they was in reverse. I guess when it's a new car, they, still wasn't used to it. Yeah. Want to mention, Ryan Howard's closing this gap.
Yeah, he's closed it in pretty significantly.
3/10, yeah.
Significantly. Now it's, like you said, 3/10 now down to 2/10, as he's basically in that draft from Falkingham.
Ain't no way we're short, right?
There can't be any way.
I don't think so, because he's really closing in quick.
Well, maybe he's thinking if he can basically do whatever he can to catch Daniel Falkingham now and get around him, maybe he'll think that he'll have enough clean air to hold him off for the win. Unless we get a late race caution, then everything will change.
For sure.
Kevin Brown, well, who was that? I thought it was Kevin Brown. Yeah, Kevin Brown now up to 13th. Chad Coleman up to 10th.
He just got around right there, just making a pass on Jeff Ryan. He's got a little bit fresher tires. Chad Coleman does. He's got 4 lap fresher tires than everybody in front of him. I want to mention that. So that could place a little bit of Good thing for him. While I also mentioned Tommy Ryan has taken over 4th place from Brian Boris Cook. I'm just saying, like, by the way, what happened to Ryan Howard? He's now 7/10 back.
I wonder if he had a bad corner and missed his
Right
mark.
on board.
Oh yeah, he's definitely dropping back now. Yeah, now it looks like Buckingham's going to extend it a little bit more here. He's now up to 9/10, almost a second. So he's probably, Ryan Howard's probably saving fuel.
I don't hear him saving. I don't hear him saving. I was trying to find his RPMs. It's a possibility.
Here's a little bit of an off-the-wall question for you.
Yeah.
Is your ATVO kind of going crazy from
Yeah,
about
it did that.
11th on back?
Yeah.
Okay, I just want to make sure, because mine's kind of lighting up like a Christmas tree right now. So, glad I'm the only one not having that issue. But meanwhile, not having an issue tonight is definitely Daniel Falkingham. Man, I gotta give it to you. Like we usually talk about this week in and week out about this guy. I mean, total domination. He knows what it takes to win championships with this truck of his that he's got.
The thing with Falkingham, we was talking about it a while back. He's still looking for that 10th win. He's got 8 right now. Definitely going to have a chance at 10.
I can see him doing it.
Yeah, definitely.
I mean, I can see him picking up win number 9 here tonight. And then I can see him winning next week as well. So, Ryan Howard definitely... There's something going on with Ryan Howard because now he's a second behind. Kevin Brown now jumps to 11th.
They're watching him. I don't... These guys ain't... So in that corner, I was watching the corner speed.
Mm-hmm.
Howard's faster in that corner in turns 3 and 4. But 1 and 2, we'll check this one too.
Well, while you check that out, speaking of being faster, here comes Brian Macklin. Gonna look to the inside of Brian Boris Cook here. And wow, look at that. He must have some fresher tires as he's not gonna quite be able to close up on Brian Boris Cook there, but I believe he's gonna be able to get a good enough run here in 3 and 4 to complete that pass. Right there, he's gonna try to attempt the slide job, as we call it. And he will pass him with ease.
Yeah, and so I'm sitting here trying to figure this out with Daniel Falkingham and Ryan Howard.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's the exit speed is what Howard's lacking.
It could be.
Because Falkingham has more speed on the exit where they, kind of where both of them would be on track. It's just Falkingham has more exit speed out. I don't know. We'll have to wait and see. I mean, we still got, a few laps.
Right. Now we're working lap, what is it, 97 or 98, I do believe. It's 97 on the board. Ryan Howard now still kind of maintaining that that gap, I guess you could say, to Daniel Falkingham. Now it's 1.1 seconds.
Let me tell you what's crazy. Our top 12, everybody but one is a playoff driver.
Uh-huh.
That is crazy.
And that goes to show you how consistent these guys are and how they made their way into the playoffs. You don't necessarily have to win every single week. You just got to be consistent.
I agree. I agree completely. Right now, like I said, our lowest running playoff driver, of course, not going to have a finish here on us. Big name Justin Fuller. Going to finish 28th, and then we got to go all the way up to 16th. Justin's going to lose a lot of points.
Yeah, for
I
sure.
think he's going to be okay. I mean, the thing is, he can still win and get a lot of points. So
right. Meanwhile, Jason Brom was able to get around Mike Kelly for 9th.
There you see Jason Brom right there. This is another guy that I've been kind of... He's came alive pretty good here in the playoffs.
Yep. One of them guys that could pick up a win here at any given time. Yeah. You know, this league is just full of them guys that can win at any given time. It kind of feels like...
Not lying about that, that's for sure. So looking around the racetrack right now...
Everybody's pretty much spaced out.
Yeah, everybody's... I mean, like you said, there's not really a lot going on. And I mean, this is only 22 laps in this run. This is just Homestead right here. You're just waiting to see if somebody makes a mistake. I will say Randy Yoakum getting around Jeff Ryan. So now Jeff is one of them drivers not in the playoffs inside the top 15. And there's a reason why these guys that's in the playoffs are in the playoffs.
For sure.
They definitely deserve it. I've said it earlier.
And we're definitely not taking any credit away from Bentley Glasser, who's currently running 5th right now, even though he's not in the playoffs. He's doing a heck of a job kind of squeezing his way in between all these playoff guys to kind of break them points up, I guess you could say, for them playoff guys. Meanwhile, the gap has now grown to about 2 seconds.
This is Falkingham's race to lose, I believe.
Well, we know how bad.
Unless there's got to be a pit stop. I mean, that's the thing. We don't really know for sure. But.
Yeah. Well, how many times did Daniel Falkingham make a mistake with having this kind of a lead?
We've seen it. Looks like the team gets around, takes 11 spot. Joey having a pretty good run now.
Yeah, and I mean, I said it earlier, you know, he's doing a heck of a job tonight.
Yeah, I agree.
You know, he's going to look into trying to get into 10th. Don't know if he's going to have a run just yet here. And Kevin Brown is now he's going to push and go to the inside of turn 1 of Kevin Brown. Don't know if he's going to have the run on exit just yet, as he will slide up in front of Kevin Brown, put Joey Gattina back inside the top 10.
Yeah, Gattina's on a mission right now. He's actually one of the fastest trucks right now inside the top 10 now. He could be looking at a really good finish before this one's over. He's about 5/10 behind Jason Brom. He's going to catch Jason. I mean, that's being honest. He's 3-4 tenths faster each lap.
Oh, for sure. And I mean, depending on how the Chad Coleman machine, you know.
Yeah, he could catch him.
He could catch him very easily. I mean, Coleman just got a little loose off of turn 2. That's not going to help him go any further.
Cook's also in a little bit of trouble, honestly. He picked up so much earlier than these guys. As you see, Joey driving underneath the 83. Joey Gattina making a big push here towards the end of this one. Yeah, he's looking good right now. Move him up to 9th. He's up 10 spots since he dropped the green flag. Meanwhile, Brian Boris Cook slowly starting to get a little pressure here from Chad Coleman.
Yep, Coleman's going to run the bottom. Boris Cook looked like he almost got into the wall there off of 2. Going to save it for now as the 38 gets a big old wiggle.
Now this is what Joey wants. Joey wants these two guys to battle. He will close in very quickly.
The 38 with a huge run again on the inside of the 63. Not going to have a good enough run off of turn 2. He was able to get a little bit next to his door. Going to side draft him here. Going to push himself a little bit further up. And he will definitely clear him for the most part right now.
I tell you right now, Joey closed in so much that last lap. Almost he closed in 6/10 that last lap.
Yeah, he must He must have hit the turbo button on
He's
that
got
thing.
10 laps fresher tires. Now, Chad Coleman's somewhat of the same strategy as Joey. I do want to mention that 2-lap difference in tires. Coleman has 25, Katina has 23, so there is a little bit of a similar aspect to that. So we'll kind of keep an eye on that.
A little bit further back, the 74 has gotten around the 18th for 17th.
That was Brian Wortman. Now, let me get his second up. I mentioned Gerald Livingston in 19th. He's done a pretty good job here. He's up 11 spots from where he started. In 17th place right now.
Yep. Currently, we have 20 trucks on the lead lap. And we've had, let's see, basically for 23rd, so we got 8 trucks out of this one so far.
By the way, Joey Katina, take it away P8.
Yep, and
that's what
too
you
far.
want.
Yep, and he ain't too far from Chad Coleman as well.
The thing is, if you're a playoff driver, you want to finish now inside the top 8 every race.
For sure.
Because if you finish inside the top 8 in every race and you're a playoff driver, you're making the next round.
Right, and I mean, you definitely don't want to be somebody like EJ O'Rourke who is doing a decent job. However, he's it seems like he just doesn't have the momentum that he wants.
Yeah, that he had before, yeah.
Exactly.
Joey came in here, by the way, 12th in the points. I'm going to guess that he's going to move up very close inside the top 8. Because he may be able to get Coleman here. I mean, he's right here on his back bumper now.
Yeah, I mean, he's getting these really good runs off of 2 and 4.
I don't think he'll be able to catch Macklin, personally, who's done a really nice job, by the way, rebounding. I don't think he'll be able to get Macklin. I could be a little bit wrong on that if something happens. I mean, we're coming to 10 laps to go next time by. But you got to give credit where it's due. Joey Katina, great strategy call on his part.
Yeah, he's going to sniff this draft from Chad Coleman. Going to try to slingshot his way to the inside. Not going to take the run just yet, but look for him to try to get a good run off of turn 4 to get around. And there you go. You see him peeking to the inside. Going to push the 38 for now, and now he's going to try to get around him from the, in the inside here in turn 1. Going to back the corner up. Going to hit his marks. And you can see he just sets these guys up so easily.
Yeah, slide job out. Yep, good pass there.
He'll let the fight a little bit.
He'll give that 14 to outside now because he's so even up with him going into the corner. That's what you want, because then 38 had no momentum from that high side by getting blocked. I mean, there you see why right there. Great driving by the 14. That is not a lie. That is fantastic. Like, that's racecraft. That is really nice job.
I mean,
you're not going to beat that.
He may be able to catch the 30 of Macklin.
Yeah, it's close.
I mean, I just don't think he's going to have enough time to get around him.
Yeah, it's going to be very close.
Because, I mean, he's got little less than a second and a half, I will say, or maybe a little more than that to catch Macklin. But meanwhile, it is Daniel Falkingham now leading by 3.7 seconds over Ryan Howard. Daniel Falkingham with 8 wins on the year so far. Going to try to pick up win number 9 here tonight. Yeah, I mean, I have not seen a league that has one specific driver
with this amount of skill set that's in here,
exactly, being able to dominate the series and win, 8, 9, maybe even possibly 10 races a year.
Bentley Glasser still trying to run down Tommy Ryan, by the way. About 4/10 separate both of them. Looking at Joey Katina, he is faster than Brian Macklin, but like you said, Todd, it's really tough to be able to close that gap and pass him with only 5 laps to go.
Right, and I just don't think he's got enough time.
Kevin Brown gets around Jason Braun, by the way. Brown's done a nice job rebounding after a horrible start.
Yes. I mean, see him now working on the outside. The 83 going to look to the inside of him. He's going to pinch the 83 down, and that's what you kind of want to do. That basically stops him from having that run, is you want to not necessarily drive him down the track, but kind of like pinch him off, I guess you could say, from having that good exit off of the corner.
I want to mention Gerald Livingston also got around E.J. O'Rourke, pushing E.J. back to 18th.
Yeah, EJ's he's just hanging out for dear life.
Yeah, he's ready to go.
Tough break for him.
Once again, Joey Gattina still closing the gap in here. He's about 2/10 faster each lap than Brian Macklin, but not going to have too much time left as we are coming to 4 to go. But how about this? Daniel Falkingham with a load of traffic up in front of him.
Yeah, and I don't think this is actually going to hurt him too much. I mean, Homestead is, you know, it's a pretty wide track, so I mean, these guys can get out of the way very easily. See Daniel Falkingham gonna look to go to the inside here in 3 and 4. And that's the thing there. You see the EJ basically giving him the bottom.
Yeah, that's
not going to hold up Falkingham too
honestly,
much.
This is what Ryan wants, though. But he's so far back, it's going to be like Daniel can take his time to work through this.
Oh, for sure. I mean, knowing that you got a 4-second lead, you know, you could literally coast through the corners, and still, you know, kind of maintain your lead.
Ryan on board right now. Coming to 2 laps to go here from Homestead, Todd. Bentley Glasser, by the way, is closing the gap in on Tommy Ryan. They are nose to tail.
Also closing the gap up is Joey Gattina on Brian Macklin.
About a second right now separating them. A little bit more than a second, 1.1.
But still, it is Daniel Falkingham working his way through 3 and 4. He will see the white flag this time by here at Homestead.
So he's going to try to go 3 wide here, Todd. A little bit dangerous, but you see Gerald Livingston giving him lots of room.
Yep.
White flag in the air this time, sponsored by SnapMobile.shop.
I like what you did there. Daniel Falkingham going to the inside here in 1 and 2. Literally going to tiptoe away from Ryan Howard here in this one. Going down the backstretch for the final time. Through 3 and 4. Where he will see the checkered flag. It will be his 9th win on the year. Daniel Falkingham's going to pick up the checkered flag here at Homestead.
Ryan Howard going to cross in 2nd place. Tyler Dalton going to manage a top 3 finish. Tommy Ryan going to be close here with Bentley Glasser. And it looks like Ryan and Glasser 4th and 5th. Brian Macklin going to come home and regather himself to finish 6th. How about Joey Gattina with the 7th place finish? Chad Coleman, Brian Boris Cook, a good run, and Kevin Brown, your top 10.
What a race by Daniel Falkingham.
Yeah. That was a lot of laps led, 98 to be exact.
Yep.
It was kind of interesting because I was a little bit worried at first, you know. I mean, it looked like he struggled a little bit, but he gathered himself up pretty quick. So the donuts are about to occur. We're going about to interview here. So, for the 9th time this season, like Todd said, it is Mr. Daniel Falkingham putting it in victory lane here once again. This time at Homestead Miami Speedway. Daniel, it's Adam and Todd up in the booth. You got a copy?
Yes, I do.
P1 tonight, man. Dominating performance, 98 laps led. So I got to ask you, because when this race first started, you kind of dropped back a little bit, and it took you a few laps to get a feel for everything it looked like, but you managed the outcome and just dominated.
Yeah, start of that race, I was just trying to conserve my right rear tire because in practice, the thing would get really sideways if you push it really hard, really early. So Ryan and Tyler wanted to run harder than I did, so I was just going to let them run out their stuff, and then we got we got that yellow, so kind of threw a wrench into things. So, but thankfully, throughout the pit cycle, how the pit cycle played out on that caution, we were able to get up front, get the lead back, and then we were just able to control it from there once we finally got that long green flag run in the race. Because I was doing all I could up front, trying to conserve fuel, because I was worried with how early we pitted, we weren't going to one-stop it. Or we weren't going to be able to one-stop it, but with all the yellows, that really helped us out there at the end, because I was able to make it by like 10 laps. So if we didn't have those yellows, I probably wouldn't have one-stopped it. So definitely some lucky breaks with the yellows, and thankfully just controlling the pace out front, and we were able to pull away right at the end.
Was it a little bit of a surprise to see how much the lanes changed in this one? We've seen cars up high, down low, middle, I mean everywhere, and literally at any time.
Yeah, not gonna lie, it kind of surprised me how much different, what different lanes you could run. You could run all the way. I think this is legitimately the first race I've ever run at Homestead where I could run right on the white line. I can make up time and stuff, or I can make some really good speed. Yeah. So that was a big surprise to me, and I was even ripping the wall in practice, and the wall had speed too. So you could literally run everywhere, and that's what makes this racetrack so amazing to drive and to watch. So definitely one of my favorite racetracks to race, but. Yeah, it's definitely a good one out there. You could use all 3 lanes, make up time, and yeah, it was a blast.
A place that we've all raced before, Texas Motor Speedway next week. What's your thoughts heading there?
Yeah, if it's the same New Texas that we ran last time, then we won it last time earlier this year. Hopefully we can go do it again. But pretty much all what this round is all about is just building up the points to make sure we make it to that last round. So hopefully we can go there, have another solid run, and keep building our points up to the cut line, and yeah, hopefully we can make it towards that final round.
Coming in here with 20-point gap already, and now adding to that here tonight, man. Shout-outs and all that.
Yeah, I got to thank First Rate Bay Loft 207 for all they do, for all their support. I got to thank you guys for being on the broadcast. Definitely was going to be a good one to go back and watch. That was a fun race once we finally got all the yellows. Dusted up, so that was good. I got to thank everyone who comes on races each and every week. Got to thank Joey, all the guys who run the show at 500. I got to thank my teammates, the team name, Chad Coleman, Kevin Brown, Doy Woods, all those guys. And got to thank all the fans who watch us each and every week, and thanks to the friends and family who are watching as well.
Hey, good job tonight, buddy.
Appreciate it, Adam. Thank you.
Next up, another interview with the man, Ryan Howard. I don't know how many times, Ryan, you're going to finish second this year, but it's second here once again at Homestead. Talk about this racetrack, man. Multiple lanes, and it looked fun, actually.
I'm just going to get a number 2 tattooed on me,
I'm telling you.
Yeah, I think I told you guys last week, Homestead's definitely one of my worst tracks. Seemed like tonight I ran a little different wheel setup because I always feel like I'm saving tires here, and it always comes back to bite me, and I'm not sure why, but it seemed like the middle, typically the groove kind of runs in the middle here, and I think it just moved to the bottom, but I don't think it was necessarily given, really. I kind of started running that in practice, and I was like, man, there's actually something down here. I kind of call it the Tony Stewart line. He kind of used to hug that white line. Yeah. Really close like that. Some of the mile and a halves, and it really worked. But tonight was just all about clean air. I think he kind of saw it when I just wanted to lead a lap early, got around Daniel, and then pretty much just let Tyler go to lead as much as he wanted. I wanted to see what the old tires would do, and he kind of stayed out there, but I think he could kind of tell it was whoever was up front, because I was able to get to the back bumper of Daniel a couple times, and as soon as I did, it fell off again. It's so hard to pass.
For sure. So I think it's like your 8th or 9th second place finish, literally. I was sitting here looking at the stats. I'm not 100% sure on that yet, but pretty crazy. What's your thoughts next week at Texas?
Definitely not a fan of the new config. I'm not but we can make it. If we can make it like one of these, I mean, every time I go to Homestead, it's like, man, it's a fun track, but it's definitely weird. Yeah, it's weird. Texas, I don't know. I don't know what they were thinking when they redid Texas. I'm not a fan at all.
I agree.
But I used to love that old track. It was so much fun. So we'll see. We'll go in there and we'll try to save the right front. That's another track where you just kind of have to let it roll through 1 and 2 and try to keep the momentum up without killing your tires. But Homestead, I wish, gosh, the way it was a little more fun tonight, because trying to hook that line and run that consistently is really kind of a tricky, fun thing to do.
Right.
I just wish it was like real Homestead, where you could do it on the opposite end up by up by the boards. So I think that would be a good equalizer and put on a hell of a race for you guys if we could, if someone was on the bottom and someone was riding the fence all night.
Yeah, man, for sure. And we just need you to finish one spot better, and I'll be happy. Everybody's been waiting on it, and we know it's coming. Hopefully, I mean, you never know. It could happen during the championship. Who really knows? But either way, man, good run tonight. Shout outs and all that.
Yeah, thanks. Gosh, gotta thank you guys for the broadcast. 7500, Snap Mobile Shop for the series. It's gonna be a good one coming down. We just keep clicking away, and we're putting ourselves in position. So yeah, hopefully we can figure out a way to get one on Daniel here. We definitely deserve it. Yeah, I don't know. He's number 2, man. I'm gonna have nightmares about that.
I'm telling you. Hey, good job, buddy.
Thanks, man.
Thanks, buddy. All right, next up, it is going to be none other than Mr. Tyler Dalton, who was, if I can figure out how to pull somebody in eventually, Todd, finished in 3rd place. And Tyler, not a bad night overall, man. Good points night. You got a few laps led and move on out of here, but talk us through this night.
Yeah, it was a really good night. Finally started to hit our groove. We started 4th last week, finished 4th. Started 3rd tonight, finished 3rd. Got up there and led some laps. I don't know, the thing, it felt like if you got some clean air, it felt really good. And when we had the pit stops, had a few guys stay out. And Daniel got back by me, trying to get back by the guys that stayed out. And I ran it hard, trying to get back by him. And there was at least 2 times where I was about to get by him, and the caution came out and just couldn't quite get back by him, and that burned my tires a little bit. I fell off, and then the last run came down. The pit crew was a little bit lazy, but got back out there and just sort of went into cruise control mode. I knew probably weren't going to catch Ryan and weren't going to have any issues with anybody behind us, so we just sort of cruised at the end, just prayed it stayed green. And like I said, it's nice to finally be putting together some good finishes. We've either had bad luck, dumb mistakes on my part, just beginning of this season was bad, and we definitely didn't look like a playoff driver coming into here, and now we finally got some momentum on our side.
Yeah, moving yourself into 2nd in the point standings after tonight, which is a big thing because, of course, this is not a win and you're in for the championship, so it's just straight points for the round. So talk about it, man. Texas next week, and you are right now. I mean, you're looking pretty good for the top 8, but with Texas, and then we have an off week before Talladega, anything can still happen. I mean, we're only in round 2 of the playoffs, race 2, so anything can still happen going into them next 2 races.
Oh yeah, the way I look at it, finishing well tonight was a must because I surprised myself a little bit last week at Iowa, not necessarily with my best tracks, but Texas is one of those tracks where they sort of ruined it with the new Texas, but so you don't really know what to expect. You get a lot of dive bombs going down into one. Texas could go one of 2 ways, and then you never know what's going to happen at Talladega. So getting 2 top 5s in to start this round of the playoffs was huge.
I agree completely. Shout out to all that, man, before we let you go and get out of here after this long night.
Yeah, got to thank all the guys at Sim 500. I think Joey Gattina, he puts on a hell of a show here. A lot of people don't realize how much work goes on behind the scene to make this happen each week. If you like what you see, come run with us. We race about every night of the week. I think that you have a lot of fun.
Yeah, a lot of races and with literally everything, super late models and everything. Hey, good job tonight, man.
Thank you.
Thanks, buddy. Todd, there's your interviews. I got some big news coming out before I get your final thoughts. Justin Fuller goes from 2nd in the points down to 10th.
Wow, that is a huge jump.
Yeah.
And not the jump that he really wanted going into what we got.
Texas
2 more
and Talladega.
Yeesh.
I don't know if I'd want that at Talladega.
I've noticed in the past, Justin Fuller is pretty good at Talladega, so he may be.
That's true.
He may be holding that kind of in his back pocket to basically lurch his way into the top 8.
Yeah. Thoughts on tonight's race, though?
Man, uncharacteristic is the word for the night tonight about this race. I mean, we've seen a bunch of, crazy yellows at the beginning of this, but then ultimately it kind of turned into the kind of race that we anticipated on seeing. We had long green flag runs that turned into green flag pit stops, and ultimately it was still Daniel Fulkingham able to stay on top of the board with these guys and pick up that 9th win in the year.
So I'm sitting here thinking about it, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I'm looking. Last time we raced Texas, it was 0 cautions in that race.
Okay.
Daniel Falkenham walked out with the win. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
8th place, however, was none other than, wouldn't you be surprised, Tyler Dalton. 1 lap down.
Yep.
So, I mean, he's still 8th
So,
place, but you know. So there you go. I'm sorry, Justin Fuller, not Tyler Dalton.
okay.
Tyler Dalton last time actually did not finish good. He finished 24th at Texas.
Ooh.
So, anyway, that'll do it for us tonight, though, guys. Hope y'all had a good time. That was fun for us. We'll be live tomorrow, Red Sox Racing Series. Y'all have a great night. Todd, anything else?
Nope. Other than just I gotta pack my virtual my clothes up for our virtual flight to Barcelona for tomorrow.
Yep, heading out now to Barcelona. Have a great night. We'll see y'all tomorrow. God bless.